Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, you've got the Lovers card, right? So it's all about love, relationships, partnerships, marriages, contracts, anything where you're interacting with anybody on a one-to-one basis is going to be really in the forefront this week. And the fact that you have the Lovers card as well, for some of you this is offering you a choice. It offers you options. It's going to reveal to you where you have more options available to you than you are either currently seeing or aware of. One of the things that I love most about that Lovers card as well is that you have I mean, yeah, you know, Aquarius is not Gemini, but they like options too, right? And you have more than one on the table, which I think is amazing. One of the things that I love about this as well, with the Lovers card, you tend to see that it's not so much that the decision will be made for you, but some things around this, around any aspect where you're having to choose this week, something will take place that will say to you, okay, now I have my path, now I have my choice. Your foundation card is the Queen of Cups. So a Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio woman may feature for you in some way, shape or form. This could just as easily be your mother, but could just as easily be a gay man. So, well, hey. All jokes aside, in some way, shape or form, this week, I think you're making the decision to nourish and nurture the things that are actually important to you. And these will be highlighted to you by outside or external circumstances this week, whatever they may be. Now, if you are a continued subby, you know Raffi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. If you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. So your first card out, you have the Page of Cups, Page of Swords, sorry. So what do we see here? This is a time sequence. Whatever is happening this week, you will have either dealt with, worked through, on or over around late May coming into June of this year. But it could just as easily be on the opposite end of the scale. Whatever happens this week, you will very likely be feeling the ramifications, the decisions or the outcomes of, for or with in Gemini season of 2022. So this is a week to really be conscious, to pay attention to what comes up. Now you've got the this in your actions and options. For some of you this could be about meetings, for some of you this could be about job offers. I do get the feeling that you are having a talk with someone, and it's really weird. I get this sense that somebody's going to say something to you, or there's an invite here of some sort, and it's like when you go, you're going for one thing and you might expect it to be this, but then when you get there it's something completely different and you're like, huh, okay, that's cool, right? So any meetings or, you know, interviews or anything like that that comes up, go ahead. You've got you know, good things to come. For your communications and conversations, we've got the Nine of Wands. This card throughout the decks has been very active this week, and specifically in the communications area and the money and materials sectors. The fact that this keeps happening, and the Nine of Wands is one of the cards that keeps popping up this week. So that's really interesting. When it comes to communications, you know, sometimes when you make a choice, somebody has to lose, right? Somebody loses out, somebody is not happy, or somebody doesn't get what they want, right? And if you are the focal point, it can be hard, especially as Aquarians, because we care a lot about how other people feel, right? We don't necessarily do feelings ourselves. We're like, a bit like Cat and Jack, stirrings. And even that, like, I take offense to that. Maybe it's because I have the moon in Cancer in my chart. And the way that I see it, yes, all right, fair enough, we don't touch the water that we hold, but the water carrier, we carry the emotions of the world on our backs, which is one of the reasons we have to detach from them. Because if we go in there too, who's left to then disseminate that, right? And to make sure that everything is equal, or anyway, tangent. So this Nine of Wands suggests that whatever decision you make this week, it's going to feel like you're in between a rock and a hard place. You're damned if you do and you're screwed if you don't. This is why, especially with that Queen of Cups as the foundation card, choose yourself, right? Once you are settled, once you are in that space where you are genuinely covered, looked after, well met, well needed, you know, needs met, well fed, all the rest of it, and all of that, then you are better for the world. When you are better yourself, when you are your optimum, you are better for the world. You can't be anything else, right? And so this week, if you are making a choice where somebody has to lose out, it's not like, oh, well, that's hard feelings for you. It's just a case of, okay, I don't want to actively cause, you know, any upset or anything, but unfortunately, I have to make a choice, and this is the choice that my heart and my soul feel are right for me at this moment in time. So for some of you, you could be deciding this week that you're leaving a job. For some of you, you could be deciding, if you're a business owner, you could be deciding that actually you're going to let an employee go, or maybe you're, you know, not going to offer the service that you offer to a certain client anymore. You know, there's so many ways that this could play out, and your situation is going to speak to how that is. But this week, it does look like the thing that you feel vulnerable about, it's like, I'm having to let someone down here, and I really don't want to do it, but I'll take it on the chin. Now, for those of you that are retired or no longer working, I think this is you being drafted in to help somebody that has lost out. In some way, I think you could be playing mediator and or counsellor. You know, obviously, if you're not fully qualified to do so, then, you know, do so safely and with integrity. You know, I need to say that to an Aquarius, but you get my point. For your love and relations, you've got the Hierophant card. Now, I'm going to say this. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, whether this is someone that you know, which is possible, this is as much as I will say, or this is someone brand new, and I don't say this lightly, because you guys know me. I'm not one of those sensationalist, every week you're meeting a soulmate readers. It's just not who I am. This week, you could be interacting with the person that is going to be your person. And the feeling that I get is that you will know by the feel. It won't make sense at the time, but you will know something on a deep level, and then it will flitter away and the chips will fall. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term relationships already, the relationship is needing to be looked at this week. Something about the commitment is being spoken about, and I think that this is actually a very good thing. I think in a lot of ways, this is you looking at the health of the marriage and saying, right, okay, there are some cracks here, but you know what? I got my polyfiller, I got my spatula, I've got my overalls. Come on, babe, let's do it. This actually suggests to me that you're able to get over something or past something, and you're doing it together. But it is work, right? And you're making that option, right? You're making that choice this week to stay in something, which is nice. You know, obviously not nice if this is detrimental to you. Please think about what you're doing. But for the most part, I actually like this. But yeah, for those of you that are single and looking or available, I almost get this exquisite sense that this week you're going to meet somebody or reconnect with somebody that is going to be your future person. Really uncanny. For your money and materials, you've got the Three of Pentacles. This is kind of bang on for me, actually, because this week I start teaching my tarot course, so making money from teaching. So yeah, perfect. I'm happy with that. It is underneath the Nine of Wands. So whatever you're doing when it comes to your finances and your resources this week, that Three of Pentacles is really saying you've got the high ground. Now you just need to figure out not only how you got to that point, but also what to do with your resources. So this could literally be saying to you, right, how am I going to use the money that I've got, and how am I going to divert the funds that I have to get the most out of them? When it comes to your physical health and vitality, because it's not underneath the Nine of Wands as well, if you have a niggle or a complaint this week in your knees and or your legs, specifically sort of from the knees downward, do something about it sooner rather than later before it becomes a real issue. All right, so you'll know if I'm talking to you. And then when it comes to your home and environment, look, I gotta be honest with you, it looks like you're either hitting the books or you're working really hard on something this week. Now, I'm not going to say that you're a know-it-all. I nearly choked there. That's the universe, like, yeah. I'm not going to say that you're a know-it-all. What I'm going to say to you with that Nine of Wands there, cut yourself some slack. It's almost like you're telling yourself, and I do this all the time, you don't know enough, you haven't read enough, you haven't, and I'm like, okay, and then I end up with like literally 1,000 books around me, and I'm like, and then late into the night at like 1s and 2s in the morning, I'm still, like this week, cut yourself some slack, because it looks like you're going to try to really overdo it, and it's important that you don't, so that you can get most out of yourself in terms of longevity rather than just a short burst. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.